All right. Boom, 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 bam. Boom, 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 bam. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Great Debate Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, your favorite uncle, Uncle JJ. And as always, I got something to say. The Great Debate Show is available on all social media platforms. Rate, review, follow, subscribe to the Great Debate Show on YouTube. Follow the Great Debate Show on all other social media platforms. Just hit the follow button or the subscribe button. It's absolutely free and it don't cost you a thing. The Great Debate Show is available on all social media platforms weekdays at any given time. That's why you have to follow and subscribe, because you just never know when Unc might pop back up. And I'm up today on a Thursday. I hope you all are having a wonderful, terrific Thursday. I hope you have a terrific Thursday. It's early, so grand rising kings and queens, nieces and nephews. It's your favorite Unc. And look, I want to come in here today and I want to talk about college football, week 11 picks. I'm going to, do the best I can. It has been a very good year for me with these college picks. I got off to a good start the first quarter of the football season, and now it's just went completely left with my picks. But I'm going to talk about it. I also want to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. There was some news that came out yesterday after the Monday Night Football game with the Cardinals and Cowboys. We questioned, should the Cardinals be thinking about playing Jacoby Brissett full time? And head coach Jonathan Gannon said, no, 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 no. Yeah, and a few days later, they said Kyler Murray's going on IR, meaning he's going to have to miss the next 4 games. And I'm going to tell you why. This could be it for Kyler Murray. I'll ask you all, and I'll read the comments as soon as I'm done. Do you think this is it for Kyler Murray in Arizona? I'll tell you why he's taking his final snap in Arizona. And tonight, we'll preview that terrible, boring game, Cardinals-Raiders. That's going to be a snooze fest. Anyway, let's go ahead and start the show by me speaking to everybody that's in here right now. I appreciate you being here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me right now, so I really do appreciate it. I'm live on TikTok. I'm live on YouTube right now. It's the Great Debate Show. Okay, Kanye, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining me. What's up, O'Brien, Neighbors, 17 Mountain? Thank you for coming in here. Welcome, 28, Joseph, Michael Tyler, Jesse Wilkie, Too Damn Smooth. What's up with you, man? Will Porter, Jess Yabarb, Just Mike, X Weeze, Jimmy Larkin, Patrick, Terry Adams, Esco, Homie, Joe Garcia, Danny Porter, Swish, Bryce Hunter. Thank y'all for joining me, man. Please continue to come on in here and hit the like button and subscribe. Keep double tapping that heart. More likes attract more viewers. So y'all, please keep it up. I appreciate it. Bang, bang, Alaska. How you doing? I had a lot of stuff to say yesterday about the bang, bang 49ers that we represent, that we've been so crazy about for, I don't know how long it's been for you, but for me, it's been, man, I don't know, a good 35 years or so. Been a long time. Been a very long time since I've been a Niner fan. And for those past 35, 36 years, I had a lot to say yesterday as to why the 49ers have not gotten that Super Bowl. There's also a video from a while back, maybe about 2 weeks ago. It's called the 31-Year Curse of the San Francisco 49ers. Y'all, please go check that out. It's available on YouTube. Great content that's available on the YouTube channel under the live and the video section. You don't want to miss that. There's also episodes about Triple H and why I say he's jealous of Drew McIntyre and others. Also episodes from yesterday talking about who won the trade deadline. That's an episode that I uploaded yesterday as well, even though I wasn't live. Y'all go check out that good content and let's get those numbers up in the algorithm. Okay, let me start with talking about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is going to IR for 4 weeks at least because of his toe injury. His foot. But I think this is Kyler Murray getting benched. And this is the best way that they can do it without saying, Kyler Murray, you've been benched. Reason being, This offense have looked a lot more better with Jacoby Brissett. It's just, there's no sugarcoating it. There's no other way to put it. Marvin Harrison has had a few drops this season. However, he's not dropping the ball anymore. He's running crisp routes. The ball is coming out of the quarterback's hand on time. He's getting more catches. He's getting in the end zone. He looks like a wide receiver that belongs in the NFL now, even though he kind of didn't when Kyler Murray was under center. Y'all, I've been saying this for the longest, man. I never thought that Kyler Murray was that dude. Back in 2018, the Arizona Cardinals, and I'm very, very, very familiar with this because I'm a 49er and they're in my division. I keep up with what every team does in the NFC West. And in 2018, the Cardinals drafted a man named Josh Rosen out of California. He was said to be the next Aaron Rodgers. Well, after one season, the Cardinals realized this motherfucker ain't Aaron Rodgers. And they got rid of him and the head coach after 1 year. And we applauded the Cardinals for realizing that. They were right. Steve Wilks hadn't had another head coaching job since. He didn't last as a DC long with the 49ers, but he's been bouncing around doing that. And Josh Rosen never landed a starting quarterback position with any team after he left Arizona. So after 1 year, they said, we fucked up. Let's move on. And that is the biggest praise that the Cardinals deserved at that time, because a lot of owners and general managers and coaching staffs just, they try to tell themselves that they made the right pick, and they hold on to players too long, even though they kind of know they effed up. So they didn't try to save face. They didn't do anything to feel validated. They said, look, we screwed up, move on. And the very next year in 2019, they went into that draft and they drafted a guy named Kyler Murray out of Oklahoma. This guy played baseball, pitching. He played quarterback in college football. Some people thought he would actually get drafted in the major leagues. He was that good as a baseball player, pitcher. I always told people he probably should have went to baseball instead. I always thought that he'd get that one big contract and he'd leave the NFL and go back to baseball. Some people said that that's his first love. That's really what he loves doing. But he wasn't going to get paid that type of money immediately in the major leagues. He probably couldn't even go to the major leagues immediately. So some thought, there was rumored that he would just go to the NFL to get that big contract and then figure out what he wants to do, where his passion is at. Remember the talks when we got around year 2, year 3, that he doesn't really take football seriously. He's playing video games instead of watching film. He's the kind of the last one into practice, the first one out of practice. Like, there were some harsh things said, and they weren't whispering it either about Kyler Murray. I knew he wasn't the guy. While we can applaud the Cardinals for saying, yeah, let's get rid of Josh Rosen, we need another quarterback, they still didn't get the right quarterback. I told all my Niner fans back in the day when I was in these 49er clubs and fan clubs and Niner Empire groups, I told everybody, the Cardinals need to draft Nick Bosa at number 1. I said that because I wasn't fond of Nick Bosa. I thought that the Bosas are just a name. I don't think they'll ever be the Watt brothers, the Mannings, Venus and Serena Williams. I think that's the most overrated, overhyped group of brothers that have ever played a sport. Joey Bosa is pretty good, but he was always injured. And coming out of college, well, Nick Bosa kind of was getting injured too a few times. So I was like, he's a big stiff. And he only wins with his strength. I don't want him. Give me Quentin Williams side by side with DeForest Buckner, or give me Josh Allen, now Josh Hines Allen, with the Jaguars. Give me him on the edge. And that's just what I wanted. Call me crazy, that's what I wanted. Fast forward 6 years later, that don't look so bad. Quentin Williams has been a stud. He just got traded to the Cowboys for 2 early round picks. And Josh Hines Allen is the all-time Jaguar sack leader. Now, I know that's probably not saying much, but still, the all-time sack leader for his franchise already? I wonder how far is Bosa from doing that. The Niners don't have anybody that had a lot of sacks. I can't think of anyone other than Bryant Young, Charles Haley, and they're not in the Bruce Smith, Reggie White category. Anyway, I digress. That's neither here nor there. I thought they should have picked Bosa. I didn't think Kyler Murray was the quarterback for Arizona. They picked him. And instead of doing what they did with Josh Rosen and saying, hey, man, we fucked up, move on. They're not saying that with Kyler Murray. And I think it's just because they don't want to look like the franchise that said, damn, we picked another bad quarterback 2 years in a row. And within 3 or 4 year span, we've already tossed him out the window too. They should have, but they didn't. This is not, we're putting Kyler Murray on IR because because his foot is still that bad off. We just heard Monday night that he almost could have played in some type of form. He just wasn't ready to start. And now all of a sudden, he can't play for 4 more weeks? This is the Cardinals benching Kyler Murray without saying they've benched Kyler Murray. They're moving on. They see what we see. The offense is moving a lot smoother. It's at a faster pace. They're spreading the ball out more. Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting the rock now like he should have been getting. And now we don't have to continue to say, hey, I think Marvin Harrison needs to go somewhere else. We don't have to say that anymore. And even though Jacoby Brissett is not the future, he's a good bridge quarterback to get them to where they need to get to while they build around, continue to reset or rebuild or whatever the Cardinals are doing, and then they get their quarterback of the future. Jonathan Gannon is on the hot seat. He could get fired, and that's the reason why he knows I got to play my best player right now. And that's what he's doing. Somebody's saying right now Kyler should have been benched, and he is. This is what they're really doing without saying that's what they're doing. Good comment. Damn, what does that say, man? Y'all names be so crazy. 1610. That's what I'm going to say. Brissett is better than Murray. He is. And that's the reason why Kyler is gone on IR. So, I said all of that to say this. What have we learned about the Cardinals? We've learned that Brissett makes the Cardinals offense work much better than what it was. Even though they have lost some games and they're 3-5, the last 3 games, they have been in every last one of those games, though. I think they've lost all those games by 1 score, and that's pretty good. Has it been good after a 2-0 start? No. But it could still go up. Even though this team is 3-5, look at the rest of the Cardinals' schedule. They very well have an opportunity to still finish the season with 8 or 9 wins if you look at the rest of the schedule. Arizona's going into Seattle. Most people would say that's going to be a loss. I probably would too. But it's not going to be the same Arizona team going into Seattle that Seattle thought was going to come in there. They're better without Kyler Murray, and they've got a chance to run the table here a little bit. I'm telling you, when I looked at the schedule, the Cardinals could win some games. The Niners may start to lose some games. And I hate to say that because that's my team. But our schedule on the second half of the season doesn't look as easy as it did earlier. There's no guarantee we're beating the Panthers now. There's no guarantee we're beating the Bears now. Hell, there's no guarantee we're going to beat the Cardinals next week on Monday Night Football in Arizona. Now that we have Jacoby Brissett to face instead of Kyler Murray. And we're probably going to lose this Sunday to the Rams. So that 11-6, 10-7 record that we thought, it could easily drop to 9-8, maybe even 8-9. Because we damn sure not beating the Colts. We've got to see the Colts. We've got to see the Panthers, the Bears, the Seahawks, again, the Rams coming up. These games look a lot tougher than what they did. And the Cardinals, they're not going to make the playoffs. But I'm just saying with Jacoby Brissett, they've actually got a chance to see where they stand and maybe save Jonathan Gannon's job. And that's the reason why Kyler Murray's on IR and they're going to play Jacoby. He's better and he's desperate. Is this the end for Kyler Murray? No, I wouldn't say that. We see now after watching Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and the list goes on probably. These quarterbacks just need a change of scenery, new coaching staff, a new offense, just a better supporting cast, a different supporting cast all around. Grand Rising, Mikey. He said, good morning, Unc. How you doing, brother? It doesn't say that this is the end. He just says he needs to go somewhere else. It's not the end for Kyler Murray, but it's the end of Kyler Murray in Arizona. And I think we've seen him take his final snap as a Cardinal. But there's plenty of places for him to go. Hell, the Raiders need a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. The verdict is still out on Trevor Lawrence. Let's see how he does these next 9 games with Jacoby Myers. But the verdict is still out on him. The Jaguars could need a quarterback. The Saints still may need a quarterback. The Browns won't play Shadur Sanders for whatever reason. They say he's still dealing with a back injury. But before that, they said he still wasn't ready. Right there that Kyler Murray could go to. You know? So there's places for Kyler Murray to go. I wouldn't really want to go to the Jets if I was Kyler Murray. It just seems like that just ain't the place for nobody to get success because they're just as cursed as the Niners are, it seems. But they've been cursed for a lot longer. But there's places for Kyler Murray to go. Like I said, Saints, Saints, Jets, Raiders, probably Browns, Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to figure out a way to get rid of Tua Tagovailoa, I promise you. I've already seen reports saying what the cap hit would be for them if they were to let him go. That means they're trying to figure out how they can let him go and save the most amount of money they can. That's what I wanted to start the show with. Kyler Murray. That's the last you've seen of him. Under center as an Arizona Cardinal. Okay. Yes, he is cooked. How you doing, Irish? Kev, what's up? What's up, Soul Lock? How you doing, man? Nas88. Mikey's in the building on YouTube. FAIS. How you doing? This week is week 10. Not next week. This week is week 10. Mikey says, I am blessed. That's good, man. I'm doing fine. Same here. I'm alive and healthy. And health is wealth. Okay, y'all. I'm going to give y'all the college football picks now. I just wanted to say that about Kyler Murray. That's it for him. I think it's a wrap. We've got some good college football games, though, coming up this week, week 11. And we got a boring game tonight on Thursday Night Football. Raiders, Broncos, I just don't care for it at all. That's going to be a snooze fest. And if I did think about coming in tonight live after the game, that's probably what's going to put me to sleep and keep me from coming in. Swanson, how you doing, brother? He says you are 100% right. You are the first to call it. Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. And I kind of said it after the Monday Night Football game when I came in here and put up a video Tuesday. A lot of good content I think y'all are just missing. Some of it is people not getting the notifications, I'm being told. With my new StreamYard services that I'm using, everybody doesn't get the damn notifications. But if you hit that notification bell on YouTube, you can't really miss it. Even if you don't see it live, you can always go back and check that content out. But I've kind of been preaching this since Monday night. I knew the Cardinals were going to win. When I saw that they had lost 5 straight, I'm like, there go that gematria number again. I think they're going to win. And they won. And I think that it's a trap game for Seattle as the Cardinals come into Seattle this week. The Seahawks are coming off of a high win, but so are the Cardinals. I expect Seattle to beat them, but it's not going to be easy because the Cardinals just moved the ball a lot better. Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting his confidence. That's it for Kyler Murray in Arizona. But I can see him as a Jet or a Saint or a Dolphin. I can see it. I don't know if Mike McDaniel would want to work with any more short quarterbacks, though. I really don't know if he wants to do that. But the Dolphins are going to move on if they can. That's why you don't pay these quarterbacks whatever the market says because they're next in line. I've been saying that for a few years now. Even on my Spotify and Apple Podcast days, I've been saying, fuck the market. And that's why you say it. Because of people like Tua Tagovailoa and Trevor Lawrence. You pay these guys for what? Because they were next in line? How is that working out for you? Fuck the market. Okay. The game definitely is a snooze fest tonight. I'm a Rams fan. Who you think will win or who you think will have the NFC West title? Man, that's going to be real tough, man. But from the way I see it, the Rams and the Seahawks schedule looks like it's going to get a little bit tougher, but only because they're about to play each other a lot more. But they both look tough, the Rams and the Seahawks. So I see both of them winning 11 or 12 games. While I thought my team would win 11, we're dropping bodies every week, more and more bodies. And the schedule doesn't look as easy as it once looked. So I'm taking us out of it. I'm taking my team out of the mix. We didn't get anybody in the trade deadline. Not that I blame the Niners for that. I don't think 1 or 2 players was going to make that big of a difference to send us to the Super Bowl without Warner, without Bosa. Should we have gave up some draft picks for, a player like Trey Hendrickson or Max Crosby because we can't draft good with the early round picks? Maybe, but we have to pick up the contracts too, and we're paying a quarterback $265 million. Could we afford to pick up those people's contracts? People are just looking at the picks. You don't just give the picks away. You got to pick up that player in their contract. So I would say we're out of the mix for NFC West. Wild card is still, promising, but like I said, y'all, some of the 49er fans can be so contradicting. And I'm not talking to everybody that been following me on TikTok and YouTube. Y'all are pretty logical, and y'all kind of use your common sense. But everybody that's pissed off because we didn't give up first and second round picks for big players, for big key name players, and they say the reason is because we're saving those early round picks to just blow them and do nothing with them, to botch them in the draft. If you really believe that, and it's the truth, John and Kyle will botch those early round picks. But if you know that, why do you always give me such a hard time when I say get rid of those guys? It's time to move on. They always hit me back with some, well, who are you going to replace him with, Unc? A motherfucker that can draft in the first and the second round. Anyway, good question, though. What's up, B. Wayne? How you doing, brother? Brandon B., what's wrong with the Grizzlies with Ja and the coach? I'm going to talk about that in a moment, man. Give me 1 second. I'm going to talk about that. I've been talking about Ja all week. Have y'all been watching the videos? I've been talking about them. I've even gave you 5 teams that can go get traded to. I bet y'all missed it, didn't you? Tuesdays and Wednesdays are not live streams, but the content comes in every motherfucking day. Y'all please go check out those videos and help me out with the numbers, which will help me out with the algorithm. Hit the like button on those videos and comment. I will come back and I will respond to those comments, just like I respond to these in these live chats. I'm going to tell you what's up with Ja in a moment. First, let me get to these games right here. I think that Oregon at Iowa is going to be an interesting game. Oregon is number 9 going against number 20 Iowa. College football has kind of been a crazy season, just like the NFL. But I can't complain about it, though, because it's better than seeing the same old, high-ranked teams, highly recruited, going up against teams who don't get any recruits at all, and they're going to blow them out by 30, 40, 50 every damn Saturday. So I've been impressed with that. That's all thanks to the NIL. That brings more competition, and that's the reason why y'all GOAT, Nick Saban, got on down, because he can't stand competition. He just wants to get all the best recruits and just bully everybody. That ain't no GOAT in my opinion, but I digress. Oregon is averaging 41 points a game, y'all. But Iowa's defense is allowing only 13 points a game. So this is going to be very, very big. I'm just going to go with the under. I'm not picking who's winning that game. But Oregon should win, but it's on the road in Iowa. So y'all got to be careful with that. I probably would just take the under. Next, I got Texas A&M, number 3. I gave y'all the college football poll, the first college football playoff rankings on yesterday's episode. And I was kind of surprised that Texas A&M is still number 3. I thought that they probably would jump Indiana and be number 2. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had a jump Ohio State and was number 1. Y'all, Texas A&M is good, man. And they're one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. They're going to Missouri, though, to take on Mizzou. And Mizzou is they've got 44.1% quarterback pressure percentage on defense. That's the second highest in the FBS. But A&M is 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is 48.5. Missouri's 22. I don't think Missouri wins this game, but I think that they make it closer because sometimes Texas A&M struggles with their offense. But I'm still taking A&M. I don't know if they will cover that 7.5 or not. So I'm going to stay away from it. But again, A&M wins the game. But this is some of these games you don't know what it's going to be. This could be the game where as soon as they move up in the top 5, top 3, they fuck around and lose the game and they fall out of the top 10. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. BYU at Texas Tech. That's another game that could be kind of good. BYU is now all the way up to number 7, and Texas Tech is number 8. It don't get any closer, any tighter than that. But Texas Tech at home is favored by 10.5. 10.5. Are y'all going to fall for that trap? Or do you not think it's a trap? I think we win a wild card game but lose the week after that. Okay. Thank you, Jose. Hope I said that right. No, not Jose. You've been in here before, man. I think you said it's like Josie. How did you say you said? I don't want to botch your name, man. Quinto. That's a good one, though. I had us going to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to stand on that, but it ain't looking good, y'all. I don't even know if we'll make the playoffs. Because like I said, the Panthers at home, the Panthers are better away from home, and we're not good at home. We got the Panthers in a couple of weeks on Monday night. We're not good at home. And that's why I think we lose this week against the Rams at home. We got the Bears coming into town in December. We're not that good at home. These games just don't look as easy as they once looked. But I'm going to still say Bengals-Niners because that's what I said. But that is just looking more and more stupid by the week. Anyway, BYU and Texas Tech. Who y'all got on that, man? I'm going to say, let me see, the over-under is 52.5. BYU is 4-0 on the road. I'm going with BYU for the win, but it won't be easy. But I ain't betting on that either. But give me BYU. Watch me be wrong about some of this shit. Hey, y'all know Memphis is actually in the top 12 now if the playoffs started today. They got Tulane at home. It's 55.5 over-under. Man, that's a lot of points. I'm gonna go with Memphis here. I'm glad Memphis was able to kind of get back up in the rankings. I don't see my guy Jofi Joe in here, but B Wayne, what's up with you, man? How you doing? Brandon B, hang in there, man, because I'm gonna tell you some stuff about the Grizzlies. Jake is back, man. What's up? Who you got, Carolina or New Orleans? How you doing, Jake? I told you your Panthers were gonna be all right, didn't I? I'm gonna get to the Panthers tomorrow. I'll be talking about the Panthers more. I'm kind of talking about them right now, saying how I don't even think my team can beat you all in a few weeks. Ohio State is overrated. A&M, the hardest strength of schedule. I agree with that, Swanson. That's why I'm surprised they're still at 3. Good comment, brother. The Raiders might win tonight. They might win tonight, though, since Broncos did beat the Texans, Cowboys, Giants, their last 3 games. You got a point. You got a point. They're coming in off of a high after beating the Texans on the road. Nobody picks the Raiders or expect the Raiders to win. That will be the only thing that will make it entertaining, too, Mikey. You're not wrong. If they have won 3 straight, yeah, the Broncos could lose, but they probably could win 5 straight. As I said in gematria, that 3 can go to 5, that 5 can go into 7. What's hard is to figure out, is it going to end at 3 or is it going to end at 5? And I don't really know. But I knew the Knicks would win last night at home. It made 5 straight home games at the Garden. They ain't done that since like 2012. 2011, 2012. I should have came in here and told y'all, but by the time I saw it, they was about to tip it off. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go with Memphis over Tulane. Northwestern at USC. USC is at home, number 19 now, trying to come back into the top. Well, they're back in the top 20. They're favored by 14.5, though. What the fuck did I just see? What is that? Oh, I thought that said Marshawn Lynch. But still, though, man, Marshawn Kneeland dies at 24. The Cowboys announced a defensive end passed away this morning. I don't know who that is, y'all, but he's very young. The Cowboys just lost a defensive end at the age of 24 years old. Damn. Wow. There's a fire going on right now at Eric Spoelstra's home. No injuries have been reported from the incident in Miami. It's a lot of shit going on this morning, man. Man, our condolences to this man's family. Rip to him. 24 years old. The Cowboys just lost their defensive end, Marshawn Kneeland. Damn. I hate to say this too, but we always get closer. As we get closer to the Super Bowl, there'd be so many damn deaths. And it'd be a lot of former players, or as we see now, current players. This is crazy. All right, anyway. TikTok, what's up with y'all, man? Y'all leaving me? What's up? Anyone know what happened to the Cowboys player? That's what I just announced, Dakota. No idea what happened, but yeah, he just passed away. It doesn't say what happened to him, Dakota. Doesn't say that yet. Okay, Indiana at Penn State. Before I get to that one, let me get USC over Northwestern. Indiana at Penn State. This is, y'all, Indiana's having one hell of a year in 2025. Now, I know OKC won the championship in the NBA, but the Pacers made the finals. And rest in peace to Jim Irsay, the former owner of the Colts, but his daughter's doing a hell of a job right now. And the Colts are having a good year. And Indiana in college football is having a good year. And they're 14.5-point favorites at Penn State. Penn State has lost 5 straight games since starting 3-0. There's that 5 again in gematria. Do you think Indiana could lay an egg here at Penn State? That's a trap game. Watch out for that. Yeah, they're number 2. And I'm saying, bragging about how they've had a great year. They're the third fewest in points per game allowed at 10.8 in the FBS this season. They got Caitlin Clark, even though she didn't really play this year. But Indiana it's been up in 2025 for the state of Indiana. I'm not going to say that Indiana's losing that game to Penn State. But after 5 straight losses, I just said you don't know if that 5 is going to go to 7 or is it going to end at 5. I won't be surprised if Penn State can get that upset on the road. No, they're not in the top 25 anymore. Then they probably won't be. But that is a trap game for Indiana on the road. Watch out. It's 48.5 on the over-under. I don't know, man. Watch out for that game. Watch out for that game. Penn State, let me see, Indiana, 9-0. They were 9-0 last year as well at this point. Man, I don't know, man. It's the first time favored over Penn State since at least 1978. Wow. It's been that bad for Indiana against Penn State, huh? That game is an early game, Saturday at noon Eastern. I'm going to say Indiana wins, but watch out. Remember I said it. Remember I told y'all, Penn State could fuck around and win that game. And what's getting me is that Penn State has lost 5 straight after starting 3-0. What did I just say about that 3 and that 5 in gematria? Now, they could very well lose 7 straight. I know a lot of y'all are saying they ain't going to win no more this year. But I probably would just take the under on that instead of just betting on Indiana. There ain't no money to be made by betting on Indiana. And if you ain't got the balls to bet on Penn State, go under. All right, Georgia at Mississippi. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Mississippi State. The Bulldogs are coming in number 5 now, and they're still trying to get back into that top 4 for the playoffs. They're trying to go 8-1 for the 4th time in 5 years. Mississippi State, this is the best unranked team that you could possibly think of right now, seriously, in all of college football. They're not as bad as, whatever their record is. They're just not in the top 25. I think that in Starkville, Mississippi, just about 3 hours away from me right now, Brennan Thompson has got 6 receiving touchdowns. He's tied 3rd in the SEC this season. I don't know if 8.5 is going to cover for Georgia. That looks like a little too much. Over under 57.5. I don't know, y'all. I would just probably say the over. That's probably what I would do and be safe on that. Yeah, Georgia probably wins, but they're so hard to trust, though. Just when you start to get back on their wagon, they make you jump off of that bitch. So I'm going to say watch out for that game in Starkville. I'll just take the over. Okay, Ohio State at Purdue. Y'all, the Buckeyes are a little overrated, but their defense ain't overrated. Swanson was saying that earlier. Defense ain't underrated. When Ricky P coming back? He may come back this week, but we don't know nothing just yet, B. Wayne. Wow, rip, bro. Yep, I know, right? Let's see here. But back to what Swanson was saying earlier. Ohio State, he said, is overrated, and he said that Texas A&M has the hardest strength of schedule. He's not wrong. I agree with him. But the Buckeyes are ranked. They're favored to win this game by 29.5. Will they beat them by 30? I ain't going to fuck with that, even though they're at Purdue. It's the fact that they're at Purdue. And Purdue is 3-5 and 1 against the spread this year. The over-under is 48.5. I'll say the Buckeyes win, but I ain't touching none of that. Okay, we've got the Citadel at Ole Miss. That's 54.5 on the point spread. 64.5 over-under. Wow. Ole Miss is 31-1 versus FCS teams. That only loss was in 2010 against Jacksonville State. They're telling you that this could be a trap, but they're at home. Mississippi's going to win huge here, but by 55, I ain't fucking with those point spreads when they go that big. Just take the under 64.5 because Citadel, if they're saying the point spread is 54.5, but the over-under is 64, they're saying that they're only going to score like 10 points or less. So I would just go under on that because I just don't see any money on Ole Miss unless you want to put like 2,500 on it or something. And wouldn't that be fucked up if they lost that game? But they're at home. Give me Ole Miss. Syracuse at Miami. Miami, they starting to drop the ball. They're losing games and stuff now. So this is not a gimme. This is not a for sure win, I should say. So I'll say Miami wins. But yeah, it won't be a patty cake ball probably because Syracuse has not been that bad. Miami pushed back to number 18 now. They're a favorite to win by 28.5. They're allowing under 16 points per game this season. That's the fewest that they have allowed since 2006. And the over-under is 45.5. I'm just going Miami. And once again, y'all, I'm going to just take the under on that. Are y'all writing this down for y'all parlays, or am I wasting my time? Auburn at Vanderbilt. I'm finna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm losing people on TikTok. Auburn at Vanderbilt, man. Vanderbilt coming off of a stunning loss against, who was it, Texas last week. Thought that they would put up a better fight than that. They kind of came back. But anyway, they're number 16 now. They're favorite to win by only 6.5. I probably would take a chance on them winning that by a touchdown. But once again, I may just go with the under at 45.5. Auburn's got defense. Vanderbilt's got defense. Auburn has allowed 37 sacks this season. Oh, that's the most in the FBS. I'm taking the under on that too. Okay, Washington at Wisconsin. That's a trap game for Washington. They're 23 in the nation. Wisconsin is at home, though. That could be dangerous. You know what I told y'all about teams that are ranked in the high 20s? Then they go on the road, or a team that goes against a team on the road against a team that's kind of like in the high 20s. They could upset them. I think Washington wins that game, but I would bet on Wisconsin in a parlay or something, or maybe put $50 just on Wisconsin, depending on what the plus looks like. But they're saying Washington is going to win by 11.5. I'm not sure about that. I probably would go Wisconsin plus 11.5 right there, just because they're at home. But I'd be too scared to pick Wisconsin and just flat out win. Wake Forest at Virginia. Virginia's number 14, and Virginia is the only ACC team that could actually make the playoffs if, well, they got to keep winning and stuff. But if the playoffs started today, I think that they would be going up against whoever I said number 7 was. I don't even remember. Or a bowl game or whatever, however way they're doing it. But Virginia's 5-0 and 4-1 against the spread at home this season. They're going to beat Wake over under 48.5, 6.5 on a point spread. I'm going to go Virginia here. And I actually may say they cover that, but they be playing around with that shit. So just give me the over, 48.5. California at Louisville. At home, give me Louisville. I don't have to spend too much time on that. 20.5 on the cover. 50.5 over under. Louisville's got 12 interceptions this season. That's the second most. Well, damn. Give me the under then. That means they may not score a lot of points. What about Cal at I just said that one. Yeah, Cal at Louisville. Give me Louisville. And I'm going under. LSU at Alabama. Okay. Well, they don't have a coach. They don't have an AD. They ain't got a lot to cheer about right now. So going at Alabama, number 4. This is usually, though, when a team has moved up and got back where they need to be. This is when they usually kind of F it up. I won't be surprised if somehow, some way, LSU can pull off this upset on the road at Alabama without a head coach, with an interim head coach, whoever that is, without an AD. I don't know. Alabama has defeated LSU in each of the past 2 seasons. Oh, never mind. This will make it 3 then. They're only favored to win by 9.5. I'm surprised they're not going higher than that. The over-under is 49.5. 9.5 on the point spread. Y'all, most people are going to bite on that and say Alabama's going to cover it. But I probably would say no. I may go LSU plus 9.5 there. I don't know. It's something about these teams. As soon as they get where they need to get to in the rankings, they fuck it up. And I won't be surprised if Alabama finds their way out of the top 4 immediately after getting back in the top 4. That's a primetime game, Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern. Alabama, man, 7-0 since their 0-1 start. There's that 7 again. I don't know, man. I won't be surprised if Alabama loses this game. Or if not, at least they probably won't cover. That's a dangerous one right there. I'm going plus 9.5 LSU. Navy at Notre Dame. Look, Notre Dame is finally back in the fold of things, right? I mean, they're number 10 right now, as they should be, because Notre Dame had been getting ranked as their record was showing when they started off 0-2. Now they've won like 6 straight since then. I look for this to be 7. But they were pushing them all the way back because of the record, and they weren't looking at their strength of schedule. So I'm going to say that Notre Dame is still better than what they're ranked right now, but finally they're getting them back in the top 10. They got Navy coming into town. They're favored to win by 26.5, 55.5 on the over-under. I'm going over because Notre Dame's going to win, but there's no money in that. Now, Navy leads the FBS with 317 yards, rushing yards per game, and 6.6 yards a rush this season. Now, that is pretty impressive. So I could see this game like running the score up. Notre Dame will probably still win by 20, probably not the 26.5, but they're both going to score. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Notre Dame is still good at home, though. Give me Notre Dame, but I probably will go over. All right. That's pretty much it for the college football. Those are the best games right there. I didn't say Texas. Has Texas got a bye week? I got to give credit to Arch Manning and what they did last week, though. I talked about him and Texas, though, in some of the previous episodes that I dropped this week. All right, let's read some comments and see what y'all talking about. And to Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. So what's going on in Memphis, if you're still with me? He's pissed off about his playing time. They're kind of, minimizing his minutes. They're not putting him on the floor with Jaren Jackson Jr. as much. The head coach is really just trying to keep him fresh, keep him healthy. If he would stay healthy, he wouldn't have to complain about it. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a point with some of the things that he's griping about, but at the same time, this is a test. Just like I heard Carmelo Anthony saying the other day on the NBA show on NBC or Prime or whatever it was, Peacock. They're testing him. The coaching staff, the Grizzlies, NBA execs, the media. He's got to show some maturity. And he's got to start saying the right things, whether he means it or not. He just can't say what he's thinking. He just can't say what he feels. But Ja Morant's still young, man. And, some people, it takes a little bit more time than others. I know I was one, to just say what the hell was on my mind. And he's being very outspoken, but that comes with growth. And he will find it, I hope, at some point. But right now, it's, hey, why are you taking me out of the game every 4 or 5 minutes? Why am I not getting, the offense around me? Everything that the other dude, Taylor Jenkins, was doing, he got fired because I think Ja complained about it. And now this brother's doing the same thing. Again, he's trying to rotate, and he's rotating a little too much for Ja. That's his beef. And it seems like it's about to unfold, and it's about to unravel, and it's going to be something, to where they're probably going to cut their ties. The last time people were saying that they wanted to trade for Ja, the owner, general manager, or the owner or whatever came out and said, hey, that ain't going to happen. Well, we don't have an owner, but VP of operations or whatever his name is. He said, I think these teams are just fantasizing about having Ja Morant on their team and what it would be like, but they ain't going to get that opportunity because Ja's not going anywhere. We're happy with Ja Morant and this team. We're going to continue to build and continue to make this push to the playoffs. Now, that playoff run was not good at all. They barely got in. Won the whatever you call it. Damn, I'm lost for words. Whatever that is. I'm having a brain freeze right now. To get into the playoffs. They had it with the Dallas Mavericks. They shouldn't have won it, but they won it and got swept. First round. To the Thunder, who went on to win the championship nonetheless. But they haven't did anything since like 2022 when they got to the second round. The play-in. Thank you, South Boy. Man, I was having a Kelly Bundy moment. But yeah, the play-in. They got to the play-in. Shouldn't have won it. They won it, beat a beat-up Maverick team, and then they got swept by the champs. Well, they were about to be the champs. And now Ja Morant is just wanting more playing time. But I think the coaching staff is saying, yeah, but your ass going to get hurt. And we're trying to keep you available every night instead of every other night or every other week. How many times have you looked at the bottom of the screen on ESPN or FS1 or on your phone and it says Ja day to day, week to week? What's wrong with him now? So they're trying to keep him fresh and keep him healthy. But when he was asked on what happened and why y'all lose, what's going on with the strategy, he's saying, hey, man, ask the coach. Ask the coaching staff. What is that, a bait question? He's sounding like George Pickens sounded before he got traded from the Steelers. Remember how George Pickens was just kind of playing with the media and going off and being very immature? It's the same thing Jai's doing right now, and everybody's watching. Now, I will say this, and I said this yesterday on yesterday's episode, and I've got to stop. It was said that nobody would be interested in Ja Morant because of his conduct. He was just suspended one game due to conduct detrimental to the team. Just some hating ass execs who don't want to put their name on it. But whoever these anonymous people is, they lied. They said nobody would even want to deal with Ja Morant on Monday. But on Tuesday, we got a report saying that according to the Sacramento Bee, the Sacramento Kings would love to trade for Ja Morant. And then on Wednesday, we heard that the Minnesota Timberwolves have their eye on Ja Morant. Not necessarily targeting him, but they're keeping an eye out on him. Basically putting it out there, Memphis. I know y'all getting sick of his shit. We know what to do with him. And it's ironic that they said Minnesota because I just said Monday on these live streams, I said, man, what if Ja went to the Minnesota Timberwolves and was in the backcourt with Anthony Edwards? Or what if he went and got some discipline like his ass really needs, and he went to South Beach and he was under Eric Spoelstra's tutelage and Pat Riley. I just question if Pat Riley's even gonna put up with his shit. But if he would, he could really shine there in Miami. He just can't go somewhere where he needs to be a leader because he's proven that he's just not that yet. And if he doesn't get his jump shot down consistently, he'll never be the face of the league like we hoped and wanted him to be here in Memphis. But Memphis is cursed, man. Ever since Martin Luther King got shot, assassinated, I think this city has been cursed ever since. I could easily see Ja Morant go somewhere, go to the playoffs, deep playoff run, go to the NBA Finals with the Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets, I don't know, the Dallas Mavericks, the Detroit Pistons. These are teams that could use him. He's just not a true point guard. Okay, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you my NFL picks, and I'm going to debate with a few of you if you want to. What am I going to debate about tomorrow? We'll talk some NFL. Like, who is the best team in football right now? Remember what I talked about earlier in the week when I talked about week 9? I used to have this coworker in the workhouse back in the day, and we used to call him week 9 because every year he would pick whoever had the best record by week 9 in the NFL. And I thought about him when we got to week 9 this season, and I said, who would he pick this time? I hadn't seen that dude in 10 years probably, but I wonder who that dude would pick right now. The dude that we call week 9. Because this is one of the most lopsided, crazy, wide open seasons that we've seen in quite some time. Some of it is because of all of the injuries. Some of it is because just teams are just so inconsistent. So if there's one team that you would say is the best right now, who is it? Who would week 9 pick now that we're coming up on week 10? Who would he say? There's really no clear-cut favorite. Well, we can debate it tomorrow. And we'll also talk more about the Knicks. Are they going to win the East this year? Is this it? This is their time. This is their moment. Just like everybody's saying the 49ers should go for whoever because this season is wide open, or whoever your team may be. It's wide open for anybody to win it. So is the Eastern Conference. Draymond Green said the Knicks still are not that team. They ain't ready. Is he right or wrong? We can debate that too tomorrow. I'm going to let people come in on TikTok. It's much easier to do it on TikTok. YouTube, I would need a link. I would need some contact information for me to send that link to you. But I ain't debated with anybody in a while. Frank the Tank, I ain't saw him in a while. He used to come in here and call in. But yeah, if anybody wants to come in here and debate with me, all you got to do is just hit the invite. I'll accept the invite, and we can come on in here and let everybody hear you on the platform. This is the Great Debate Show. Let me read a few comments. With Lamar back, I think he's saying the Ravens. I've already said the Rams are going to make a push, man. They about to run the table. Steel Dre said Ja Morant needs to hire a PR team. Not bad. He'll get it all together once he leaves Memphis. Watch it. He's already said he doesn't have any joy. He's not playing with any joy. So it's like, okay, basically it sounds like you don't want to be here anymore. And I've already said that it's time for the Grizzlies to just go ahead and tear it down. Jaren Jackson Jr., you can trade him too. Get a haul of picks and try to start it over, man. I don't even know if the Grizzlies will be in Memphis much longer. The lease is still good to like 2028, but the things that have been said and the things that they're doing, man, they would love to get the Grizzlies to move to Seattle. They want an NBA team out there again. They also have rumored to say that the team could go to Las Vegas. So, I mean, it could be an expansion team, but I think they want it to be the Grizzlies. You know, they left Vancouver, came to Memphis. For the past 26 years, that's where we've been. 25. Yeah, 25 years, but that could be coming to an end. I don't know. We'll see. All right, y'all. That's all I got. I'm reading a few more comments, and I'm going to get out of here. People are so effed up in this world saying he passed away because he was tired of being a Cowboy. Oh, damn. That is fucked up. You're not lying. You're not wrong, Mikey. Damn. Are people really saying that? Social media is just, it's a gift and a curse. And it's only a gift to the people who are monetizing it. Man, the internet, but it's still undefeated. Biko Good said, what's up? Good information. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate you appreciating me. Pat Pipe said play in tournament. Yeah, play in. Yeah, that's what it was I was trying to say. Too many players going now. It's crazy. My condolences are with his family and his girlfriend. That's right. B. Wayne, I don't know when Ricky P is coming back. Kyle said that he thinks he can come back this week, but it's going to be kind of day to day. And I think we'll find out tomorrow if he comes back or not. Bryce Huff is guaranteed to come back, they say. I just hope they're not rushing him. And as far as Brandon Ayuk, Niner fans, Cal is now going back from saying the week that he could come back and the week that he could open his practice window to saying that he does think he's going to play this season. So we went from asking ourselves which week to asking, is he even going to play this season? And he might not, y'all. He might not. He might not. Okay, Packers and Eagles. That's going to be a good game Monday night. Probably the game of the week. And we got to wait till Monday night to get to it. Let me get that money in the bank briefcase. Hey, man. You're going to have to get the ladder. We're going to have to set up the match. We're going to have to wrestle for it. You're going to have to wrestle for it. Let's see what else I missed here. Let's see here. Bang, bang. Did you see the news from the Cowboys? Yes. Southboy315, thank you for joining me again, brother. Ayton says, and Ricky, I hope we got this. We got George Kittle, and we getting Brandon Ayuk back. I don't know if we're getting him back, Ayton. I don't know that for sure. Alexis, how you feel about the Niners versus the Rams this weekend? Not good. Not very good. Falcons win in Berlin. Early Sunday morning game. That's right. Did you see Marshall? Yeah, I saw that. Okay. Thank you for liking the live, South Boy. Taj Mod. Thank you. Hey, man, I can invite you tomorrow to be a co-host. I really can. Whoever wants to do it, I'm with it because I ain't really got a lot to talk about other than the NFL picks. And I'm going to do that in like 5-8 minutes. And then I'll give y'all the rest of my time. But speaking of time, y'all go check out them videos that I uploaded yesterday and Tuesday. It's some good stuff. Some of it's WWE content. You'll see Triple H on the thumbnail, but there's good football information in there too. Ja Morant information in there too. You know, I'm telling you the teams that he could end up landing at, and I was ahead of my time because they're already starting to announce some of these teams that are interested. I said it on Tuesday. All right. Thank you for following whoever that is. I can't see a name there. Adam, I appreciate you. B. Wayne, Mikey, Jake, thank all y'all, man. And Jake, come back tomorrow. I will give you my picks. But I got Carolina beating the Saints. I can tell you that right now if they're playing the Saints. Now, again, you know how these traps games are. The Panthers just beat the Packers on the road. So they're coming in off of an emotional high win. They could lay an egg against the Saints, especially if it's in New Orleans. So I got to look at that again. Matter of fact, I don't even want to tell you that they're going to win for sure because it's a week-to-week league. But they want you to think that it's just any given Sunday. All right, y'all. I got to go pay some of them bills. Y'all already know that guy Yeager. What's up, man? I did see the Lakers, but I fell asleep on it. I did see them, but I fell asleep. They beat the Spurs. Luka was in. No LeBron still. No Austin Reeves. And they still got the win. The Lakers are 7-2. I'm going to talk about them a little bit more tomorrow. This is the best start that any team that LeBron James has been on has started, and he's not even playing. He hadn't played any one of these games. Does that say that they don't need LeBron? Maybe he's going to hurt them when he comes back into the lineup. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell you why the Lakers could and possibly should trade LeBron James and Bronny to the Cleveland Cavaliers if Cleveland can figure out a way to get out of the second apron. All right, y'all. That's all I got for today. I got to get out here and go pay some bills. Y'all be safe. Have a terrific Thursday. Tonight, Raiders, Broncos. I may just put $100 on the Raiders. Why not? Who thinks that the Raiders are going to win this game? Nobody. That could be why they win. That'll be the only thing that will make it entertaining. I know y'all saying, oh, you could have gave me that $100. I didn't say I was going to do it, but it's possible. Did they really shut down Wemby? I fell asleep on it. I couldn't tell you. Damn, that's interesting. The Timberwolves got blown out by the Knicks. Ant-Man needs some help. I could see the Timberwolves calling the Grizzlies for Ja Morant. They sure could use him. I like the Timberwolves too. This could work. But anyway, I got to go. Y'all be safe. Trey said, save your money. Christian Webb, thank you for joining. I just may do that, Dre. All right, I'll see y'all either tonight or in the morning. As I said, I'm going to let a few guests come in, and we're going to debate who's the best team in the NFL. And we'll debate if LeBron should even be a Laker when he comes back in November. All right. Y'all be safe and follow the Great Debate Show on all social media platforms. Make sure to go look at those videos and get those numbers up in the algorithm so we can keep this live stream and the other episodes keep coming. All right. It really does help a brother out. Check those videos out and follow because you just never know when Unc might pop back up. Until then, peace.